ballet dancers often aim to tread lightly on the stage, and a group of New York City dancers advocates treading lightly on the earth. Choreographer Rebecca Kelly lives in Manhattan most of the year, but spends her summers in the lush Adirondack Park of northern New York State. Recent weather patterns and the habits of butterflies she's noticed have compelled Kelly to guide her dancers toward a message for the audience: reduce your carbon footprint on the earth if you want to help slow down climate change. We met up with Kelly and her dancers at the Lake Placid Center for the Arts. When butterflies changed their habits near her cabin, choreographer Rebecca Kelly envisioned a ballet where the weather forces the delicate creatures to flee.
The point is, our climate is changing, and while it may take more than one lifetime to see the enormous ramifications of the change, things have changed enough that any one of us can notice, and I think that it is a wake-up call that we need to change our own behaviors.
Kelly's work often reflects on the environment. Whether her dancers represent the terrain we explore, the air that we breathe, or those butterflies we see, the choreography in these different dance pieces has a common motivation.
In a way, I'm always telling the same story, which is our wilds are strong and our wilds are fragile, but we must play a role in preserving them.
This piece evokes the clean air that floats among the high peaks of the Adirondack Mountains in northern New York.
I think it's important to preserve these rare places that are unpolluted for the most part.
The movement and the representation of the dancers in the piece is that we are air. You know, we wear blue costumes, we move, or we try to move like air. You know, not sharp movement, everything is very delicate, everything always never stops, everything, you know, flows like the air.
While audience members may find it relaxing to watch, the choreographer says she hopes her ballet will inspire concern and even action.
I think that people coming together to watch ballet or enjoy art of any form is a reason that people share ideas, and I think it can start a conversation, and a conversation can start a movement, and a movement of the people is what helps us all work together as a society to protect our earth as well as inhabit it and joyfully mingle with it. We need to make sure that we are not suffering from acid rain in our wilderness places, and that the neighboring states and the neighboring industries are aware of the long reach of their footprint on our earth. And while it might be lucrative in one state to be running a coal mine, it's disaster for the quality of air, the quality of our lakes and rivers just downwind. And I think that you want to make people care.
Kelly has spent her life in a variety of environments. She grew up in the heat of the Sahara Desert. She works in Manhattan, but she also owns a cabin on the Saranac River in the Adirondacks. She spent every summer in the Adirondack Park, ever since the Lake Placid Center for the Arts invited her ballet company to perform there in the late 1980s.
This is a lush green place here in the Adirondacks, and I'll never get over it. I think it's just extraordinary and beautiful, and I would never want to think in my lifetime or the lifetime of my children's children that it would be any less lovely.
Kelly choreographed the Wilderness Suite Ballet from music by composer Richard Adler. He composed the music to represent the Adirondack Park, as well as all the national parks in the United States.
The piece is telling to the audience to care about nature and to take care of what is precious about it. And because men sometimes forgets that we are here thanks to our nature, to the environment, and we just live our life forgetting about it.
This ballet is about respecting nature because it can serve you, but nature can also destroy you.
The title of this piece, Apayana, is a Sanskrit word meaning retreat or flight.
I started thinking about this idea when I noticed that my butterflies and my hummingbirds weren't coming to their usual places around my cabin in the summertime. And I love to photograph, so I noticed the routines and the patterns, which can be extremely reliable. So when the hummingbirds weren't there, and when the butterflies were on a different schedule of weeks, I was just wondering if climate change was affecting them.
We are representing butterflies, and at the beginning we are still in a cocoon, and then slowly we get out of it and we start flying and living our life as butterflies.
What I like about this piece is like for those 9 minutes, we're non-stop dancing on stage.
What I really enjoy about the movement of Apayana is the freedom, the sense of freedom that I have, because I'm representing this butterfly flying.
You have to think about a lot of things, not only the technique, but following the music, hearing the music, feeling it, and showing the audience that message about the butterflies and all the concerns about the environment.
I think our message has to be that we must pay attention to our surroundings, and we all have a role to play, and I play mine as an artist, and we all try to share the message that we're all guests on Earth and we have something to do while we're here and leave it a better place when we leave.
Especially younger people, sometimes we forget that there's consequences to our actions, and so we need to remember that we have to live here, and if we want to live the whole life, we have to take care of the environment.
If we can reach them and they can have an effect on it, even just a little bit, I think it will help little by little as it goes on from generation to generation.
Who knows, maybe it's a little girl, a little boy sitting in the audience and watching the piece and thinking, oh, well, butterflies maybe are being affected by us. And she take that very seriously. And sometimes when she grew up, she became the president of the United States, and she said, I'm going to do something about this, because I remember when I was little, I saw these dancers doing all this crazy movement, but I got the message that maybe it's really affecting us, and we need to do something about it.
Rebecca Kelly brings her dancers to the Adirondacks to perform every summer. Her website is RebeccaKellyBallet.com.